While George was basking in the sun-drenched Caribbean, I went to London. It was a long shot, but I thought I'd start my search for the Jaguar stone at the British Museum. Bonjour. I wonder if you could help me.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
What's so funny? Oh, never mind. It was a stone identical in size and style to the Coyote stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar. The cabinet was locked. The mask looked more African than American. It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design.
Excuse me, miss. Please don't touch the exhibits.
The carving looked Central or South American in style, perhaps Aztec. I doubted I could sneak this enormous stone out under my jacket. The display case contained a couple of vases. Perhaps I'm a Philistine, but old vases bore me. It was a small flat square of polished obsidian, nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the scrying mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake. The cabinet was locked. There was a huge carving of somebody who must have been important once. There was nothing I wanted to do with the statue except find out where he bought his hat. Très chic. There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip. It was a hair clip. That's the kind of thing Georges would do, not me. The carving looked Buddhist in subject, but Mesoamerican in execution.
Can I help you, miss?
What can you tell me about that stone with a jaguar on it?
The so-called Jaguar stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented with, as you already know, the more famous scrying mirror, to John Dee.
What's this scrying mirror?
It's a little square of polished obsidian. Mine it is.
And what does it do?
Well, it's a bit like a crystal ball, except flat and black, and you can't see anything in it. Old man Dee had a psychic who reckoned he could speak to the angels through it. I think he was taking Dee for a ride myself. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
There. John Dee's famous scrying mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Oh? Tezcatlipoca? I can't even say it. Ah, there's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me. This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Roubillier?
Eh? What?
You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle? France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
I thought you were going to stay in Quaramonte to witness the eclipse.
Alas, business comes first. An important consignment of artifacts on loan to the British Museum. But I intend to return to Quaramonte in plenty of time.
Professor Roubillier, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way. It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Roubillier showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for their crack security team to finish their tea. I had to get after him. I didn't think the museum attendant would be interested in a hair grip. Not even a cute one like this. I didn't steal the stone. I was nowhere near it.
So who do you suppose did steal it?
It must have been Roubillier.
Huh! Begging your pardon, but he's a man of letters. A professor.
So was Moriarty. Man of letters or not, he's your culprit. Don't you think it's suspicious that Oublier has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo. An exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess. Moored down by Tower Bridge. Why do you ask?
Just wondering. Thank you. You've been most helpful. The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs. The cabinet was locked. I didn't need to make a call. That's the kind of thing George would do, not me. The cabinet was locked. That's the kind of thing George would do, not me.
I'm sorry, miss, but I shall have to ask you to stay.
Oh, but surely you don't suspect me of stealing the stone?
No, but you will have to make a statement to the police. You're a witness.
I doubted the girls would be any help to me. There was a small key in the lock. It was the key to the museum display cabinet. The key unlocked the case. I locked the case again and took the key. It was an obsidian dagger, thin and razor sharp. The key didn't fit this lock. The cabinet was locked. Perhaps I'm a Philistine, but old vases bore me. I doubted I could sneak this enormous stone out under my jacket. Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Oublié.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away. Hello?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Oublié, and fast. The doors were securely locked. The doors were securely locked. I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.
The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective. It was an indented well in the corner of the desk. I guess it was intended to hold ink, but it seemed unnecessarily wide. Maybe Ketch had used it to hold his rum bottles steady in heavy seas. That might come in useful in ticklish situations. It was the quill I'd found in the Ketch Museum. It was an old book with spidery writing covering the open pages. March 20th, 1676. Engaged frigate off San Salvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? It was a beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship. The ship looked too fragile to touch. It was a neat oil lantern made of brass. Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical, like Jesus or Florence Nightingale. The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate. It was Captain Ketch's sea chest. Its battered appearance hinted at salty tales of maritime adventure and swashbuckling. Long months at sea with a rum-sodden, mutinous crew, hardtack and scurvy. And this chest, full to the brim with Ketch's loot, pearls, diamonds, emeralds, and doubloons. On the other hand, it could have been full of spare blankets.
Surprise!
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? Pfft, I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws,
Jeez.
make your mind up.
Do you know how to use a theodolite?
We don't learn anything about surveying at my school. Not until 5th grade.
Would you like to play darts?
No?
Oh, come on. I'll throw, you catch.
That's dangerous. Darts will stick in me and make me bleed.
Look, an ancient Mayan stone.
Is that a magic stone?
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
'Cause Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad. Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah? Boy, that's interesting.
He was a sailor captain. This is his house.
It was an actual pirate ship chart. Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what? The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk.
What you doing, Jaws?
I'm putting this old map on the desk
What you doing that for, Jaws?
because it was obviously intended to fit in this recessed area.
How'd you work that out?
It's obvious. Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. Maybe he was a part-time pirate. It was a ship's bell. 2 bells and all's well. Pirates were cool. Maybe that wheel was from Ketch's ship. Suddenly, I was 12 years old again. Hard a port, bosun. Aye, aye, Captain Stobbart. She cannot take it, Captain. My lad's dead. Abandon ship. It was an old wooden barrel. Maybe it was from Ketch's ship. Yow! I should have known better than to put my hand in there. Grandma Stobbart had a nasty experience in a water butt once. Why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me, stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy. That cross you're wearing, Emily,
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
it's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
She wouldn't have been interested. The little girl had cute freckles, cute little nose, and the eyes of a KGB interrogator. Around her neck was a large cross on a chain. It was identical to the one in the portrait of Captain Ketch. There were several things I wanted to say to that awful kid, but I held my tongue. There was nothing else on the bike. Any use for a quill?
What's a quill?
It's what people used to write with in Captain Ketch's days.
No, I'd sooner be fishing.
What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah, why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed with me.
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night, when I got home with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? I'm sick of puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
What do you need to catch a tigerfish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
It was Bronson's theodolite. It was a net left to dry in the sunshine. I didn't want a fishing net. It would have been pretty cool to drug the cat. But I didn't have the heart. And besides which, those sisters would kill me. The cat made short work of the feather, tearing it into a blizzard of small pieces. It was a pair of red lace... I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws. The quill had been torn into small pieces. There was nothing else on the... Hey, this is just what you need to make a fly.
Thanks. Let's hope them tigerfish hungry. A deal's a deal. Here's a conch.
It was the conch shell that Rio had given me. Here, I've got a conch. Would you like it?
Dunno. Aunt Frost told me never to take presents from strange men.
I'm not a strange man.
Then why are you called Jaws, Jaws? That's a stupid name.
I'm not called... Look, conch, pretty. Swap for the cross, yes or no? Right, this thing's going out the window.
Okay, we'll do swapsies.
Ketch's crucifix was encrusted with precious gems. That looked like that's where it was supposed to be. It was the holder for the quill. Ketch's cross slipped snugly into the penholder.
What you doing now, Jaws?
Knock it off, will ya? There's something you ought to know. I don't buy cute or lost puppy. I've put your cross in this little hole in the desk.
Why?
Impulse, mainly, with a dash of irrational intuition.
Silly. Only women have intuition.
The lantern cast a strong light over the desktop. The light cast a shadow of the cross. And the shadow fell precisely over a small, unnamed island shaped like a skull. That must be it. Ketch's Treasure Island.
Uh-oh. That's Zombie Island. It's a bad place.
No kidding? Well, bad place or not, that's my next port of call.
Can I come too?
The hell you can.
I never get to leave the house.
I wasn't going to take the cross out of the holder. Somehow I just knew that was where it was supposed to be. Would you take me to, Zombie Island?
In this weather? You're mad, man.
The rain will keep the zombies indoors. Just say I did meet a zombie. What would you do?
There ain't no zombies on Zombie Island. At least, not anymore. It's uninhabited.
Good. What do you mean, not anymore?
You still want to go?
I guess.
Well, I ain't had no luck with them tiger fish. And with the mood my sister is in, I'll be safer with the zombies.